Hello everybody, NashNorf here, back again with another jersey concept video. Today we're doing more of a uniform concept. I'm using my template I made for soccer, and we are doing all 27 MLS clubs today. You may have just seen my video about NashSC concepts. I'm using that same exact template, but today we're doing every team, every club. And before we get started here, as always, if you don't really care to listen to me talk and explain my design choices, there is going to be an Imgur link in the description below with all the images of all the concepts. Feel free to use them anywhere, just ensure that you do not remove my watermark and branding. First up, we have Atlanta United. And just going kind of with their five-stripe life, or whatever their slogan is. I try to keep it nice and simple. I know they're a team that kind of has had the same jersey. They're trying something a little different this season, so I just kind of went horizontal instead of vertical. All right, this one does have Austin in it since they will be playing this season. So here is my concept for Austin. We've seen that they are going very bold with the green and the black, and we've only seen the bar kits from them, you know, like the horizontal bars along their jersey. So here I just decided to do this nice swirly kind of trippy look, and I think it's a good look for them. Next, we have Chicago Fire FC. I kind of was inspired by their older kits, and I know they're doing a new logo soon, so I will definitely do another one of these whenever they do a new logo. But, you know, I did the Chicago flag in the background here, kind of vertical instead of horizontal, and just try to keep it simple, and I like how this one turned out. Next, we have FC Cincinnati, and as you can see here, they have their wooden spoon above their crest for their championship they won. Yeah, so it's kind of close to what the kit they were using last year and this year look like combined. They have that nice orange color. I wish they would use it more for their accent color. I kind of get like Edmonton Oilers vibes a little bit, right, with this orange they're using. It's a sweet look. I think a lot of their jerseys right now are kind of weak, and that's not because I'm a NashSC fan. Or maybe it is, who knows. Next up, we have the Colorado Rapids. If you see these bars, that means that there is currently not a sponsor at the time I'm making this video. So this is just a placeholder, because I know some teams, like Miami last year, they rocked a kit with no sponsor, but I think it makes or breaks a jersey sometimes. So I'm just visualizing what an element would look like right here. So I kind of try to go for some trippy little futuristic geometric mountains. Put the sea, Colorado, down here at the bottom right. I just absolutely love this color scheme. I like that you can add like touches of gray, like how I did there with the sea and the cleats and stuff like that. This was the first one where I wasn't sure if I'd like it or not, and seeing it again after not seeing it for a minute, I really do like the way it turned out. Next up, we have the Columbus Crew. This looks a little out there, but to explain what I did, you might already know. I just copied the design within their crest. It looks kind of weird, but it's kind of cool. I don't know if it would actually ever be worn or people even like it, but this is my concept. Next up, we have Dallas. The design here is not just straight up stripes. I kind of did some fun little, I don't even know what to call that, some distortion. From very, very far away, it almost looks purple, which is interesting. But yeah, it's I liked their jersey that they're using away that kind of mimics this design, and I just decided to keep going with it, and it looks pretty good. Next up, we have DC United. So big fan of their color scheme, big fan of their logo. They're a very storied team, obviously. So just went for something a little simple. So this is kind of the way the stripes look on the DC flag, which is why I opted to do two stripes like this. The sponsor logo just kind of fit better within one stripe, and overall, I like the way it looks. Very clean kit. Houston Dynamo FC, so I just kind of opted to do something a little interesting here. It's almost like it gets half as big every time, right? It looks kind of futuristic almost. But yeah, I don't know. They got a new logo. They got a new look for their team. So I was just trying to kind of go out there on a limb and give them a new jersey look as well. Definitely one of the most unique in this set. Don't know how much I actually like it, but I think it's an interesting concept. Next up, we have LAFC. Love their new away jerseys this season. They look so cool. I was kind of inspired by them, and I made a subtle change because, you know, their kits are already kind of perfect. It's hard to mess up black and gold. But I just went for a logo. I just went for a band around the sponsor logo. I think it's a nice little touch that adds a pop of color in their jersey. Other than that, their jerseys were pretty good already, so I didn't do much, and I didn't feel like I needed to. Next up, we have the LA Galaxy. So It's very clean. It's very simple. I will admit it's not the most extravagant thing you've ever seen in your life. They already have some pretty awesome jerseys that are out there. But I've noticed a lot of their simple ones, they're like minimal ones, are kind of weak. So I just tried to make something for them in that regard. You can't go wrong with blue and blue. Two-tone blue is a great look, and especially when you add gold or yellow to the mix. I think this one turned out pretty great. I don't know if Galaxy fans will actually like it or if they would ever wear something like this. But yeah, I tried to go simple because they've had issues with it, in my opinion. Next up, we have Inter Miami. This is probably my favorite I've made in this set. They did the La Palma jerseys. It's essentially the same as the one last year, but it has the palm trees like embedded in the shirt, but it's so black you can't even like see it. And pink is a great primary color. I wish they would embrace that, so I kind of embraced it for them. I think they need a solid pink jersey. It looks so good. Like, we're over the pink thing, right? Like, nobody cares about pink. It's not colors don't belong to genders. You can like any color you want. Pro sports franchises need to embrace that more. Miami could start it, but instead they still just keep rocking these white and black kits. I want to see a pink one. Next up, we have Minnesota United FC. Pretty simple design. I just took the wings, backed it up, put it on the jersey. I think it's a pretty sweet, unique look. It incorporates elements of their brand, uses nice colors from their brand. It makes their jerseys not in that same boring Adidas MLS template, and it overall looks good. Next up, we have Club de Foot Montreal, or however you say it. I don't speak French. Yeah, Club de Foot Montreal, however you say it. So yeah, here I plain and simple just thought that their new jerseys for their new logo was kind of not that great. It took this little, I call it the snowflake logo, in my head, and they just kind of patterned it out. I feel like with a place like Montreal, you know, the fleur-de-lis is such a cherished symbol. I decided to implement it into their jersey since they got rid of it in their actual logo, which I think I like. I know this is controversial. I like this logo, and it does have a fleur-de-lis in it, but it's so small. I know a lot of Montreal fans are pretty upset about it. I don't blame y'all. This looks cool. I just don't know if it really fits that team. Like, this could be used somewhere else, I think. But anyway, yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm a big fan of their color scheme. I like gray and blue together. I think if you add black in there, it just really makes a nice looking color set. And I'm a big fan of patterns lately. Don't know what it is. When I've been designing jerseys and stuff, I love patterns. You'll see it. One of the other Canadian teams has a pattern later in this video. All right, moving on, we have Nashville SC. So you guys know I've done at least like 20 of concepts for Nashville SC. So for this one, I just kind of went a little bit more retro inspired with some of the old minor league stuff. Big fan of small pinstriping lately. Don't know why. This almost could look like a baseball uniform, I think. But I made so many of these, I had to try to make something a little different. Not my favorite Nashville SC jersey, but I think I did okay in the different department. Next up, we have New England Revolution. I'm a big fan of this. If you have a keen eye, you'll see that I just kind of made the design elements of their logo part of their jersey and just went for simple white shorts, white socks. I think it's something that is so simple yet so effective. This probably took me least time than any other concept in the whole set, but I think it's probably one of the best ones. Next up, we have New York City Football Club. I always have trouble saying this. It's so many letters. So again, kind of like FCC, love the color scheme. Two-tone blue, it's different blue, and orange, different orange, but the same concept applies. Love it. It's just a very effective color scheme. This time, instead of doing a color band around the sponsor logo, I opted to do a color band behind the Adidas and crest. I think if I could change it, I'd probably go back and just make this whole thing blue from here up. Either way, it still looks pretty interesting. I love this color blue. It's really amazing. This is like a sleeper for me. This club has great jerseys. I've kind of liked everyone I've seen, and it's a little forgotten on me until I see them again. Next up, we have the New York Red Bulls. So this is definitely an out there kit. I will say that right now. I was just really trying to do something different. I liked their blacked out jerseys a lot, and I liked their white out jerseys a lot. So I said to myself, I'm going to combine them. So, it's very straightforward. It's very easy, but I think it's a pretty unique looking kit. Like if they ever wore something like this, people would remember it and talk about it for years. Next up, we have Orlando City SC. So I'm a big fan of Florida. Love Florida. I live in Tennessee, so Florida's a great destination spot. One thing about Florida I love is the sunsets. And the sunset is nature's best gradient. And I think that gives any sports team in Florida the exclusive rights to rock gradients in any sports uniform, Orlando included. So normally I would use like a sunset color, but they already gave me this wonderful gold color in their branding. So I just made a simple gradient from gold to purple. I think it looks very solid. It makes them have a unique kit that's just not solid purple or solid white. Love this. Probably one of my favorites in this set, honestly. Next up, we have Philadelphia Union. So I love their new lightning bolt jerseys. I don't think any other jersey in the league really compares in terms of like unique. I tried my best to do something a little cool for them. You know, can't go wrong with pinstripes. Like I said, I've been a fan of pinstripes lately. And I love this color blue that they use. It's like very small in their logo, but that's like the new base color for that new jersey. Philly Union definitely has a nice little brand going on, and I appreciate it, and this is my best attempt. Portland Timbers, they also have really amazing kits. They kind of are a very simply branded team. You know, they're essentially a two-tone team, and you can use that white in the axe, but like everybody can use white, really. So it was hard to find something unique, so I just kind of greened it out. I took the stripes from the logo and just implemented it into the jersey for some striping. Not my most complex work ever, but again, I think it's a little simple yet effective. But yeah, Portland, man, y'all keep rocking those awesome kits. I'm a big fan. I saw one in Ross the other day and I almost bought it, even though I'm not even really a fan, but the jerseys are just sick. Next up, we have Real Salt Lake. I love doing these things where I match the pattern on the shirt to the socks. I think it looks really cool. I think the MLS should let teams make fun socks. That seems awesome to me. But yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with the color scheme of red and blue. It's a classic combo, but instead of white like you would normally see with red, white, and blue, they got this awesome goldish yellow color. So made a nice little swirly pattern with the red and blue, and added the gold in as an accent. Made the shorts gold as well. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Next up, we have the San Jose Earthquakes. So I went for this little thing where it's horizontal stripes, and then they'd suddenly go 45 degrees at a curve, almost in a complementary design way to the way their logo does this right here. It looks pretty good. It gives them kind of a unique look instead of just stripes or solid colors. I do like the blue and black color scheme, and I kind of dig their old school stuff more, like when they were like an old team, one of the first MLS teams. But their new stuff is very tame, and I respect that. And I like this jersey too. Next up, we have the Seattle Sounders. So I opted to do a two-tone color here. I think it looks pretty good. I kind of gave him like a light tie-dye jersey because that new Jimi Hendrix kit is sick. Like, how do I compete with that? That's like one of the best jerseys I've ever seen. But yeah, it's very simple, very bold, and it's kind of dark, actually. I think if I would go back and redo this, I would brighten the colors a little bit. But other than that, I think it looks pretty good. Next up, we have Sporting Kansas City. I need you guys to know that I made this, and I know it's pretty similar to their new kit for 2021. But I thought it just needed a slight tweak. Again, I think kind of just horizontal or vertical stripes can kind of be boring. So all I did was add a 15-degree angle to it, and I think it makes it look pretty sweet. And I put a little stroke around the logos because it kind of blended in with this baby blue color. But I like their kits in the past, and I like the two-tone blue. That's always a good color combo if you ask me. I think I've said that like 8 times in this video already. But pretty decent. So moving on. Next up, we have Toronto FC. So this is another one where I'm using my patterns that I love to use. So we have a nice little Canadian maple leaf pattern going on in the back of this jersey. Very, very simple, but again, I think it works well. Put a nice little maple leaf on the sock right there. And yeah, I mean, not a lot to say about this kit. Just kind of a great little Canadian kit, but probably a top 5 for me in this set. I think this is the last one. Yes. So lastly, we have the Vancouver Whitecaps Football Club. And again, Canada, I love hockey. I love how they've done this little thing right here. It's almost Montreal Canadiens-esque with the thing behind their logo. This is essentially a jersey they already have, but it's only in white. So I kind of made a dark version of it. And I think it looks really good. Vancouver also, in my opinion, has one of the best logos in the MLS. That's a sweet logo. It'll look really good with a star up there someday, just saying. Yeah, so that's that, guys. That is all of my concepts for the all the MLS clubs. Please let me know down below which one you absolutely hated. Please let me know which one you loved. Be sure to like this video if you like jersey concepts, and hit subscribe if you want to see more. I do custom templates. I make my own custom jersey templates, and that allows me to make my own unique jersey concepts for any team. I'm working on pretty much every sport. I'm working on a baseball concept template. Gonna do football, gonna do basketball. I'm gonna do the whole thing, y'all. So be sure to hit subscribe if you want to see some more of that. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is NashNorf. Peace.